Quilt Roadies. Well, today might be just a little short one. I just wanted to stop in and keep you updated on what's going on in the beehive because this weekend is going to be quite busy. We have a lot of things going on, and so I just wanted to check in with you. First of all, that quilt. Let's talk about that quilt, and I'm going to just lift this camera up, so hopefully it don't make you too dizzy, just so you can kind of get the sense of that quilt right there. Yes, that is, many of you have asked, and so I have the answer. That quilt is from a book by Yoko Saito called The Floral Bouquet Quilts. I had it spiral bound at a printing place. I do that a lot for books that I'm going to be working hard on. There are many, many projects in here. All of them. She is quite the artisan. Quite the artisan. And so there are projects in here on making bags, on other quilts that are in here. You know, there's just step-by-step directions. But this is the quilt right here. Vases of Flowers wall quilt. Now, I can tell you that I probably am not going to do the border. I might do some variation of the border, but this is, everybody gets to choose for themselves, and this is one of those things that bugs me. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't like when, see this beautiful vase up here? It's upside down here. I could flip it, but I'm not sure that would look right. So I have a friend who finished this quilt, and she just made a braid of flowers all the way around, and I might do the same thing. But this, here's some close-up pictures of the blocks. So it is out of wool and wovens, and I have a lot of it stitched, but this winter I'm going to finish stitching it and doing the embellishing work. What happens, just fair warning, if you want to be warned, that once you delve into Sue Spargo's stitching, it's really hard just to do a plain stitch on wool. You always find ways to embellish it up a bit, and so I find that I add just a little bit more. I Spargo a little bit of Yoko. That sounds like a song. So I wanted to answer that question because I've gotten so many questions on it. Oh, there it is on the back. It's just a gorgeous quilt. Yeah, Yoko Saito. And the book is just fun to have because there's all kinds of tips on how to embroider, how to needle turn, how to do dimensional flowers. I mean, just look at this one. Oh, I just love this book. Earthenware quilt. That is gorgeous. And look at each block is quilted differently. Exquisite, absolutely exquisite. I think I'm going to have to make that one too. And I've collected a lot of wovens. And I do know, I think it's Pioneer Quilts here in Portland has a nice selection of wovens. I'm looking out the window because my neighbor is putting up his Christmas lights, and I'm so happy he's doing that because when we first moved here, he was doing it in what appeared to us to be an ice storm. But today is a sunny day and blue sky with few scattered clouds, but it's kind of the break in the weather. But yeah, I'm glad he's doing that today. Well, what else? What else can I say? I continue to be quite energetic here in the beehive. I have my December pillowcase, not my December, my November pillowcase done. And I am quite pleased that I have kept up on my one pillowcase a month. But this fabric, I had to get this fabric. It was, I was at Michael's and looking for some craft items, and I happened to walk through their fabric area and saw this fabric and thought, I have to make a pillowcase out of that because look at this thing. It is absolutely adorable. And so out of my stash, I picked that and made my little trim. So now I have the 11th pillowcase done. And I'm going to do this every year. I'm going to do one pillowcase a month so that when it comes in December, I have pillowcases for all the children and adults if I want in my life. So life is busy this weekend. We are going to be attending the memorial service for my younger daughter-in-law's father, who was a very popular, well-known artist. And yeah, it's going to be what it is, I guess. We're all very sad, and but it's kind of like you and many of us that have already lost loved ones, or you know, you don't ever get over it. You learn to live with it. And so this memorial service is a way for the greater community to acknowledge the loss of a very talented, interesting man. Yeah, so we have that, which means that there'll be a lot of grandchildren things going on. Family is coming from out of town. People that he worked with, so that will be a big part of the weekend. And then we're just like a couple of squirrels around here because we have been preparing for winter. So we're building a tool shed in the back for all our tools. We have some remodeling going on here that will be starting probably at the end of this month. So today I verified, picking out tile and flooring and things like that, that I needed to verify that that was my choice and that the product is available and all of that. So it'll be kind of a chaotic winter around here. I miss my Arizona peeps and the Arizona climate and the hiking and the beauty of Arizona. I miss all of that. But this winter we will be hunkered down here taking care of business. I am going to be prepping today. November's Year of the Gnome. Yep, it's a turkey gnome. I need to put him up on the gnome tree. So I'm going to be prepping that, and I got this kit from Stacy at Buttermilk Basin, and it comes with all the little things that you need. So I'll be prepping that. I got a real, I don't know, I guess this last week I felt very holiday, and I tried to watch, I wanted to empty my brain from all of the news. And so I tried to watch Hallmark Christmas movies. I guess not my cup of tea. But it did inspire me to look through my projects and see what I had to do some Christmas stitching. And I found this adorable project. This is from Buttermilk Basin. Did I already show you this? I don't know. But this is from Buttermilk Basin, and the stand came from them too. And I added the little charm for 2022. I just love that. So I already have a new decoration. And it's I know many of you that have been following me for a while remember this. I love this. I love containers of any kind. And when I'm working on a project, a wool project, I have the thread that I need to use in this little ruler box. And this was originally from Temecula Quilt Company, although I believe they are closed now. But this I used to have it Velcro. Oh, it still has the Velcro on the bottom. And it used to Velcro to the dashboard of the van so that the balls wouldn't go flying when G stepped on the gas or the brake. So I have this all set up now because I am stitching this project, which is a Timeless Traditions. And I have him almost, I'm just stitching down his hat, and then I will do the embellishing stitches and put the border around him, give him some arms and a bird. And this is a pillow. And I originally got this from Old World Quilt Shop, which is closed now. But it was such a beautiful shop. I miss it. But this pattern is a Timeless Traditions pattern. What's really funny is that I don't like on snowmen when the scarf looks like this. I like the scarf to have a little fringe. And so when I wanted to go do the fringe, I couldn't quite remember how you do it. And so I decided to Google it. And I Googled stitching fringe. And all of a sudden a video came up. And I started laughing because it was me. I did several different kinds of tutorials. So those of you that ask for a tutorial about something, I think you just need to Google Quilt Roadies and whatever you wanted a tutorial on, and there is one already in existence. So I had to laugh when I saw myself, and I said, oh, okay. So then I watched a little bit of it, and then I remembered that's how you make fringe on a snowman's scarf. And so that's the next thing. Once I get the hat stitched down, then I'm going to be doing fringe. And yeah. I had a couple girlfriends came over to stitch yesterday, and excuse me, one of them asked me how I decided did I always buy fabric for a specific project? And I tried really hard not to laugh. I wish that's what was occurring, but it's not. And so she said, so how do you decide on how much fabric? And I said, well, when I first started quilting in 1993, I would go to this local quilt shop, and the owner at the time said, of course, you know, it's self-serving, but she said, if you like a fabric, buy a yard. If you love it, you buy 3 yards. And I kind of have always kept that in my brain. Now, I don't buy 3 yards very often anymore, except if I go on the So Yeah Brothers, then it's really hard not to. But I'm not shopping for fabric based on specific projects anymore. It's more that if I'm inspired or something about the fabric that I just want to have it. And then I decide at that time, based on the print, how much I want. Because I do a lot of small projects. I do hexies, you know, English paper piecing. When it comes to the pillowcases, I usually buy a yard because 9 inches of it makes the cuff of another pillowcase, and the rest is the body of a pillowcase. So if I really like a fun fabric for a pillowcase, I'll buy a yard of it. So that is kind of where I am right now. When I'm dreaming about projects for the future right now, I know that I'm going to do these wool holiday projects. I know that it's going to be very busy. I'm going to work on this into January. As far as piecing, I am planning to do the French General swoon blocks, to start those in January, because I've always wanted to make that block, and I think it'll be a fun thing to do. Yeah. And I'm waiting for the border fabric for the cute little wooden spool designs fabric from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm waiting for that border to come in, and then I'm going to layer that and actually quilt that. Most likely in January. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in December, but in January I'm going to attempt to quilt that round bee quilt. So it's kind of like an evolution, or it's moving, changing. What do I feel like today? You know, what do I feel like today? And I do know that I'll be doing 3 days of sit and stitch with the Quilters Affair, and I usually make a postcard for that for the auction. And then I also said I would make a wall hanging for auction. So I have those in my future. Other than that, just enjoying the moment, reading. I am really enjoying Mad Honey. That is really good. I'm just taking it small bites at a time, though, because I don't want it to end. You know, do you ever read books that you just don't want them to end? Yeah. Well, that's it. It's just going to be a short, sweet one. Just wanted to say hello and thank you for stopping by. If you like being here and hanging out with the rest of us, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leave me a thumbs up or a comment. Ask any questions you would like answered. And we'll see you the next time around. Thank you. Love you guys.